Hi, my name is John. There's a question which is very important to me. Was Muhammad a true prophet of God, or was he not? Now this question is really important, because if he was a true prophet of the living God, then Islam is true. If he wasn't a true prophet of the living God, then obviously Islam isn't true. That's a pretty big question. I'm investigating that and exploring that myself in this series, which is basically a discussion. So please feel free to interact with me and discuss the issues. First of all, Muhammad did absolutely claim that he was a prophet from God. Now, a true prophet from God, and now we're not just talking about any kind of prophet here. We're talking about a prophet in the line of the Old and New Testaments. In other words, fitting in along with Moses, Elijah, Elisha, those people. And of course, Muslims believe that Jesus was a prophet, so we'd expect to see him fitting in line with Jesus as well. Now, there are many surahs that, from what I can see, support this. I'm just going to read a few to you. Surah 16, 1, 2, 3, Surah 42, 15, Surah 10, 94, 95, Surah 323, Surah 7, 156 to 157. Sorry, that was very quick. But all of these, and there are many others, they basically are saying, yes, Muhammad agrees with, and in fact Allah agrees with the Old Testament and the New Testament. There is a kind of consistency there. Now, if this is the case, there will be two things that we would expect to be true. If Muhammad is a true prophet in the line of the Old Testament and the New Testament, which he had access to, these two things must follow. The first one is that we would expect his life to be really pure, really good, really true and honest. His must be a life which God would be really pleased with. Now, I think in another video we'll examine that. Also, we would expect, if he is a true prophet in the line of the Old Testament and the New Testament, which he has access to, which Allah tells him are true according to the Quran, we would expect his teaching to be pretty much the same, not deviating from it, not radically different from what we find in the Old Testament and in the New Testament. Let's look at the second part, his teaching, and let's look at what the Bible, what the Gospels actually teach, particularly about Jesus. Another really important question: who is Jesus? First of all, Matthew 3:17 is very interesting, because we have Jesus being baptized. This is the Gospel, Matthew 3:17. Jesus is baptized. The heavens open, and a voice comes from heaven. This is the direct voice of God. And this voice says, "This is my beloved Son, with whom I am well pleased." So, according to this scripture, God himself is saying, I have a son, this is my son, Jesus, and I'm very pleased with him. Now, Muhammad is obviously supposed to agree with that. Let's just see if he does agree with that. This is a verse from Surah 9:30. It says, "And the Jews say Ezra is the son of Allah, and the Christians say the Messiah is the son of Allah. That is their saying with their mouths. They imitate the saying of those who disbelieved of old. Allah himself fighteth against them. How perverse are they?" Allah seems to be saying here, according to that verse, that anyone who believes that Jesus is the Son of God is perverse, is bad. Now this is a major contradiction. We've got Muhammad supposedly believing in the Gospels, believing in the Old Testament and the New Testament, and yet here there seems to be a massive change of mind. They can't both be right, can they? In the New Testament says, "This is my beloved Son, with whom I am well pleased." On the other hand, he definitely isn't my son. Two completely different messages. They can't both be true. Thank you very much for listening to me. Obviously, you may want to say something. You may want to respond to what I've said here. Please do. I would love that. If you don't respond, please listen to what I've got to say next, because my thoughts then bring me to the next big question. The next big question, what about Muhammad's lifestyle? Is it really the lifestyle of a true prophet of the living God?